Whenever someone starts a new game, often the first real decision that person makes is which character they want to main or the playstyle they want to use.
Whether it's a fighting game, an RPG, or an FPS, the sooner one makes this decision, the earlier they can focus on their gameplay and learn the specific role that they should fill. Speaking of filling roles, let's talk about one of the best rogues who can fill any role you like.
Give me up, I'm not done. Lethal out.
For the listeners.
They're low. Shake and
Lantern. Shake's pushing me right here.
Lethal out.
Demon on left side.
Tank right there. Demon right there. Okay. Oh my god.
Meet Ronin. She's the embodiment of a Swiss Army knife, capable of dominating up close and holding her own in mid to long range fights.
Ronin is easily one of the most fun rogues to play as in Rogue Company, next to Lancer. She has a fantastic loadout and is viable for competitive play with her top tier perks and incredibly powerful explosives.
First, let's go over her passive and ability. Her passive is Underground. Underground removes any trace of Ronin's presence from the enemy's radar.
Yeah, so no more annoying talon darts that allow the whole enemy team to flank you while you're just minding your own business.
What this essentially means is that Ronin hides from all detection, such as being seen on the radar due to Glitch's hack ability or firing your weapon. This passive shines when faced with an enemy Talon, as this is the only way in the game to avoid detection by his radar darts.
Since Talon is a popular pick in competitive play, Ronin could see a lot of usage. But if we compare Underground to the Cloaked perk, the only thing the former has over the perk is not showing up on the enemy radar, therefore still leaving you vulnerable to reveals, such as Dallas's Target Finder ability, Phantom's Nanosmoke and Sticky Sensors, Dima's Burned ability, and rolls with the Tracker Rounds perk.
As such, you could argue Cloaked is the more versatile of the two, since being revealed is more of a liability than being detected on the radar. Therefore, Ronin can be simply seen as a counterpick to Talon when we compare her to rogues like Dahlia, who are just as lethal while having access to the Cloaked perk. Now for the creme de la creme, Ronin's ability, the Ballistic Knife, which is one of the reasons that many players choose her.
This ability is so versatile and deadly that it is easily one of the best in the game. Even since being nerfed from doing 125 to just 100 damage, it still boasts an insane damage output and is capable of downing all rogues without abilities or perks at play upon impact. This ability performs optimally in a variety of roles.
Offense, defense, setting traps, controlling a choke point, and even just chucking it in somebody's face. And heck, if that doesn't work, just throw it down near them and shoot it to detonate them and down them on impact. Trust me, there's many creative ways to down opponents with her ability.
Its alarmingly loud beeping sound is just as detrimental as it may be useful. Your enemy will most likely hear it as they approach a corner, but that may just be enough to deter them from pushing up if they don't know where it is. Sweet, now let's go over her loadout. Ronin has access to the SLC SMG and the KA-30 assault rifle. The SLC has one of the highest DPS outputs in the game and has great upgrade ability, making it an extremely good weapon.
However, even better than her SMG, Ronin wields the KA-30 AR. Now if I see this gun on the ground, you can bet I'm picking it up. It's a great all-around AR and is extremely powerful up close or at mid to long range. Arguably the best AR in the game, or at least the favorite of many competitive players.
Frag grenades are deadly in Rogue Company and are a must-have for Ronin. Purchasing one in the first round of any game mode is a smart move.
Lethal out.
They can effectively one-shot any enemy that is in the immediate area of the explosion or flush out a group that is hiding behind cover. Her smoke bombs are a useful tool for tactical plays, like covering up rotation to a different position or giving the attacking team time to plant the bomb without taking fire, and it also gives a slow effect to enemies inside the smoke when upgraded.
It's not a mandatory pick for all players, but it's still not a bad way to spend your money if you often want to make certain plays that can utilize a smoke grenade. Let's break down her perks, from the least useful to the must-haves. The best thing I could say about Berserker is that it's cheap. Is it very useful? Yes, but mostly no. There are very specific cases in matches where I wish I could reload while sprinting, but it's just not often enough to make me think spending the money on it is worth it. Most of the time you're reloading behind cover anyway, just upgrade your grenades instead.
Nimble Hands is a solid perk, as it speeds up reload time by 25%. And on many rogues, this is a great pickup, but I can't say the same on Ronin, thanks to another perk that we'll get to later. Evade is, in short, an okay perk. Upon taking damage, Ronin's speed will increase by 12% for 10 seconds. This perk is useful to those who play Ronin as a flank, as it allows them to quickly regain cover during a firefight. But that's just defense. Offensively, since Ronin often does more damage than most rogues, she will typically bring the enemy's health lower than her own in an exchange. So when the enemy tries to hide and recover, Ronin's now boosted speed will allow her to get to the opponent before he realizes what hit him.
Tracker rounds work similarly to Dima's passive ability, giving you an outline of any player that you damage with your bullets. It's not a bad tool to have out on the field, giving your teammates access to more info during the heat of a battle. The cons? It's expensive. At 10k, this isn't a priority purchase for many competitive players, but you do get what you pay for.
Replenish. Now Replenish is extremely lethal, making a rogue like Ronin, who is already capable of downing multiple enemies in one play, even better at doing that. Whenever you down an enemy, your weapon is instantly reloaded and your ammo stores refilled.
Tenacity is currently the best perk in the metagame right now, as it essentially makes you invincible to being one-shot by any explosive in the game. As we said earlier, explosives are becoming more and more used in top-tier gameplay, and without this perk, you become a liability to your team. If you are playing in a match against rogues with some serious explosive firepower, and even another Ronin, this perk is an essential investment. So to recap, when playing Ronin, prioritize picking up your grenade, followed by your primary weapon of choice. Then look into buying Replenish if you don't see an urgent need for tenacity. Upgrade your guns and grenades as you go, and feel free to pick up your smoke bomb and other perks during rounds later on in the match.
Since we know everything about her kit, let's briefly review her strengths and weaknesses before talking about playstyle. 1. She counters Talon and is hidden on the radar. 2. She has high damage output when you combine her powerful primaries with the explosive projectiles she has on hand. 3. She is super flexible and is a more than capable attacker and defender.
And on to the weaknesses, or should I say weakness, as we can really only find one area in which she's lacking. Ronin's passive does not have access to all the features of the cloaked perk, allowing her to be revealed, which is arguably a more vulnerable position. Many would say she's only a counterpick to Talon, but I'll let you be the judge of that. If her playstyle isn't clear enough already, fine, we can spell it out for you.
Ronin was built as an aggressive rogue, creating fights and engaging with enemies while racking up kills in the process. This is what her class, Duelist, specializes in. So a Ronin will typically be on the front lines or flanking the enemy team.
However, as mentioned before, Ronin can play as attacker or defender, staying hidden using her stealthy passive or making some noise with her explosive. It really is up to you to decide how to play Ronin and what style fits you more. You're probably wondering, where does Ronin stack up against the rest of the rogues? In our book, we have 3 tiers for characters. Heroes, the best rogues in the game, and the most seen on the competitive stage.
Sidekicks. Rogues who perform well in some situations, but struggle in others. And lastly, civilians. Rogues who don't often appear in the spotlight, and for good reason. They typically need a good roster of rogues on their team in order to stay alive and not die at every turn. Clearly, Ronin is a certified hero and is able to hang with the best of them. In conclusion, when maining Ronin, think of yourself like a poised yet confident assassin, taking out enemies in style, whether hidden in the shadows or lighting up the map with the explosive we've mentioned 1,000 times before. Either way, you literally can't go wrong with picking Ronin. Thanks for making it through to the end of the video. If you want to see us go in depth on another rogue, let us know by hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts in the comments below.
And if you don't subscribe, how will you know when we upload our guide on your favorite rogue? So before you go, don't forget to ballistic knife that subscribe button. So until next time, remember, don't wait around asking for a hero, go be one.